Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at the Laylee Juno. How to set it up, how to operate it. It's a little bit of a confusing device to use, but it's not too bad. So here we have the Juno. It is under Animals. Once you've downloaded it as the mod, it's a mod, so you have to add it through the mod hub. And we have our little Laylee device right here. We're going to go ahead and buy one. Whoops. No, I don't want to buy that, sorry. My favorite color is blue, and we are going to put a light on it for 120 extra bucks. Otherwise, it has a press for stop button, but I like having the little light on it, but it doesn't really matter. So here we have our Lely Juno, and it's blue. Okay, so the Laylee has a couple functions. Now, I have my game is playing on easy right now, so it has auto start. I'm going to hop in and it's going to start up automatically. If I turn, you can hear beeping telling me it's running. I can also turn the beacons on using the home key. And my steering wheel is active. I'm steering with my keyboard. Hang on, there we go. Get nice and straight. Okay, so the Laylee has a couple different functions. The first of which is the right mouse button. If you pull it down and up with your mouse, and I'm not sure what the controller is like if you're using Xbone or whatever, but you can move this back and forth. And what this does, and it's kind of hard to use because you have to like jump out of the Laylee and turn it off and then turn it back on again and then use it. This can, you can have the Laylee run straight back and forth, or you can have it go like make a curve left or curve right if you have kind of a curved pen area where you want it to cover. But it this allows it to turn. If you use your right mouse button, I'm having it set on center so it goes straight, going left and right with your right mouse button opens up the compartment, and what this does is this allows you to attach a front loader. So if you can imagine, driving this Lely Juno all the way to my pig farm would probably take me 2.5 hours because it only travels at like 1 kilometer an hour. Now once again, this will turn off when I hop out, so the light's going to go off. And you can hear a beep letting you know that the unit's off. So what you're going to do is grab any front loader device. It can be a tractor, or it can be, you know, one of these with your a tractor with the front loader arms, or one of these. But as long as it has a front loader, which means a tractor style front loader, so the JCBs won't work, the big front loaders won't work, but your little Kramer will work. Telehandlers I don't think work either. I think it has to be a front loader. It's as simple as that. I should probably lower this a little bit because I'm kind of, maybe raise it. And then you have to select your vehicle to get the arms to work again. Because when the Laylee is selected, you can't move your arms. So you have to go back and select the vehicle. Then it moves. So I'm going to go ahead and run this up to the pig farm. I will be right back. Alright, so we have arrived at the piggy farm. And we're going to hop into the Laylee. We're going to go ahead and close the hatch. And I'm going to move this guy up. I'm going to turn his beacons back on. Now, every time you come into the game, you're going to have to hire a worker, and you're going to have to do this, so get used to it. I usually try to set my Laylee up about this far away from the pen. And I try to make it, I just kind of drive it down and back and make sure I'm on a straight line from one side to the other. This looks like I've got it nice and lined up. Okay, another feature of the Laylee is that you can see the grid. It just shows you distance, like what the coverage area is currently. Front and back doesn't really matter much because I mean, you're always going to be running left, you know, back and forward anyway. But this shows you side to side. So you want to place that grid so that the edge lines are kind of right. You can probably go a little further out here, maybe like right about there. And that's going to have it so that you can dump. It's showing you how far the coverage is of the Laylee. So we are covering this entire area right now. And that's pretty much what we need. And I've gotten good at placing it, just placing it where it needs to go without having to do this. But it's the same buttons that you have set to your blinkers. So the right blinker shows you side to side, and the left blinker shows you front and back. So that shows you the operation of that. Now, one of the things that I found you have to be careful of, let's say I get down here, and I've had the pigs, and I haven't done any cleaning, and this whole area is messed up. I'm going to have to drive the Laylee around, and it'll fill up really quickly, and then drive over to the bin and unload it, and then drive around some more, and then drive over to the bin and press the unload or dump button. Because if you get too far away from the pen, the Laylee will not collect it, and it will not be able to dump it into the trough. So you're going to have to clean it up. I almost would suggest taking a front loader and cleaning up the pen before you put the Laylee in place. And then once you have that cleaned up, then you can let the Juno start doing its work. But I would get the area cleaned up first manually and have that done. And so one of the things that's a little confusing about the Laylee is that it has a change angle. I don't know why they don't put it in feet. Like, let's go meters, like 50 feet, 50 meters. They call it change angle. Why? Nobody knows except for the people at Laylee probably what they were thinking, what they were doing. And I'm going to set this so that the ticket's straight. But that's how they do it. And now, what you got to figure is that each of these troughs is about 500 degrees. Okay, so from where I'm at to here is 500. Now, from here to the other side is 1,000. Okay, and this is the way that when I was reading online, people were saying that you can trust that each trough is about 500. So if I have 4 troughs, I'm going to need 2,000 degrees. Okay. If I have 2 troughs, I'm going to need 1,000 degrees. 1 trough, 500. And the 500 is I believe, the minimum you can set. But you can play around with it and see how it goes. Now, once you have the unit running, you should not have any issues. I did have one issue on my Old Streams farm where I ran the clock. I used the super fast forward. And when I did that, it actually made such a huge mess so quickly that the Laylee couldn't keep up with it. So if you advance time quickly using one of those time advance mods, like where you press Control R and it jumps way ahead, you're going to have an issue with it overloading, and you're going to have to hand clean up the mess. And so we'll probably try that just for demonstration purposes. But now that we have the change angle at 1,000 and I'm about halfway through the bin, and you really want to be as close to half as possible, right about there, press H to hire a worker, and he's going to go ahead and start it. You can ride with him if you want, or you can hop out, either way. But you can see the Laylee is going to start running back and forth in a nice line, and it'll keep the pen clean as long as you run on normal time. Even at, I believe if I set the time to, let's say, 120, which is our fastest time that we can set the default game to without modification. You can see there that the pen is staying nice and clean. Some slop just came out there, and the pen's, he's going to reverse. Time is, passing by, and we'll see the Laylee come back here and clean this up, and he'll automatically dump it back into their pen. So even in running at full speed, it's keeping the pen nice and clean. But now if we go and fast forward speed, and this is what I'm going to do now, even with the Laylee running, it's going to fill up. If I keep going, it's going to fill up so much that the Laylee will not be able to keep up. We'll fast forward to the next morning, maybe even a little further. You can see the piles are getting so big that the Laylee is actually starting to get stuck on the piles, and it can't reach the furthest pile. So we've gone, I think, oink oink 50. That sucks. I'm getting achievements for cheating. But anyway, the Laylee, you can see it's having a hard time cleaning this pen now because I've advanced time almost 2 days, and now the Laylee's off track. Look, the hill's knocked it off track. It's slowly working its way back, but it's going to need adjustment. So what we do is we're going to hop into the Laylee. We're going to unhire the worker, and I'm just going to run this by hand. Now, see, here's the problem. If I get too far away from the pen, he can't unload, so I have to go back by the pen and press the unload key. And I can unload it here. He'll slowly do it, but I have to stay by the pen to do this. And now that I'm closer to the pen, he's doing it automatically. But it's kind of a pain. So we'll have to hand clean this up. And so if you use that fast forward mod, it doesn't work. You got to make sure you check after you're done doing the fast forward, because the pigs. The other thing that sucks is as the mess gets big like that, you're going to lose productivity. So be very careful when you do that. And I have to do it again. Like now he won't unload automatically because oh no, there he goes. Okay. So I filled it up. So we're going to have to clean some of this up. And we're going to turn the time back down to normal. But you can see there, so if you're running on high speed time using your Control R mod, that fast forward mod, it's going to screw the Laylee up and you're going to end up losing productivity. So just be aware that as soon as it's done, you're going to need to clean up. And during those hours that you're running the super fast time, like to get through the night or whatever, you're going to lose productivity. Junk calls, like usual. La Honda, California, thanks. Okay, so, yeah, once again, just be aware that as you use the fast forward mod, you do lose productivity. Let's say I go out of the game and I come back in. When I come back in, even if I've hired a worker, the Laylee is going to be turned off. A lot of times you're going to find it like over here, somewhere on the path it'll be stopped. So you need to come in next morning, hop in, turn your light back on. You're going to drive the Laylee to the center. Once again, just go straight ahead. and rehire the worker, and then the next play session will be having the Laylee running, but you have to restart them between save games. So just keep in mind that the Laylee will not run when you save the game and come back. So if I exit out and come back in, I have to reinitialize the Laylee. So the last part of the Laylee is that we need to take a look at how to make the Laylee cheap every day. And what we're going to do is they have the second half of this is under placeables. Go to the mod section, which is at the end. And we have a Laylee charging station, and you're going to place this anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be near the Laylee. The Laylee doesn't ever have to be near it. It doesn't matter. Just put it anywhere. You can put it off into the woods. You could put 10 of them. If you have 10 Laylees around the farm, you could have 10 of them off anywhere you want. You just can't put it where it's red. So once you find a nice green spot, you can just place it up here in the forest. Another one. You just need one. The Laylee never has to touch it. It never has to be anywhere by it. All that does is it costs you $150 a day to operate the Laylee. If you have the charging station, you earn $150 a day. So it basically negates the cost of operating the Lely Juno. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you found this mod helpful and that it was able to help you figure out how to set up your Laylee for pig cleanup operation. Thanks again. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and I will see you guys on the farm.